This button should activate in a second.
To go live.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Good first inning.
So the Amsterdam Mohawks come through the top frame clean. No runs, no hits, no one left on base. Into the middle of the first inning. Mohawks 0, Athletics 0. We'll be back in a moment. Of his Mohawks career. And so Dalton Reese now in an RBI situation.
Hitters count too, 2-0.
Rubino the lefty, Reese the righty. And Reese skies that one down the right side into the kid zone, but foul. So a souvenir for a lucky fan here on Kids Night, where the kids got to take the field alongside the players.
Yeah, pretty cool opening ceremony. Everybody got to bat around once, play the field once.
The middle infield is trying to hold Ellington on, but that might be tough to do given his speed. And that one is taken outside. 3-1 is the count, and it seems like Rubino early on has been relying on that fastball changeup combination. So far, Amsterdam has not been fooled. Going into his sophomore year, he hit .354 in his freshman campaign.
That's impressive.
No surprise that he is the third hitter in this Mohawks lineup. Rubino deals and Cortez. And Rubino still in trouble. And again, in the corners, you have the outfielders playing very deep, and that could be a tribute to power that we can quite obviously see that Cortez has. But at the same time, those corners very shallow.
Yeah, only 290 down the line.
Rubino deals, and Cortez grounds that one to the left side. Should be an easy play. Nice scoop over there by the first baseman, DeLuca, to get the first out. But more importantly, Ellington scores for the first run of the Mohawks 2019 season. So 1-0 the Mohawks. Now Wenstrom has played for Amsterdam in the past.
Yeah, they were saying he's kind of a fill-in player until some of the other college guys get done with move up here.
And he's a Hudson Valley Community College legend. Just broke the home run record for that school. Off second, Rubino deals, and that one is taken low at the knees for ball one. So Buck and the nod at third. Talk about a guy who had a solid high school career. How about 457, 3 homers during his junior year alone? I mean, that's just incredible.
And played varsity. Very impressive.
Buck crowding the plate. The righty-lefty matchup in his favor. And the fastball taken. So 2 on the count, 2 outs with Wenstrom on second. Amsterdam already has 2 runs across, thanks to some nice situational hitting from Zaysek. And a little bit of the Ellington and Reese with the double steals. Rubino deals, and that one is swung on over the broadcast booth. 2-2. I tell you what. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Amsterdam leads 2-0. Dylan Buck from South Florida crowding the plate. Rubino has the sign. The 2-2. And Reese once again fouls it back. So making Rubino work here. And this is not the only quality marathon-like at-bat that Amsterdam has pieced together so far. They're certainly trying to get to the bullpen early. A nice crowd here for an exhibition game between the Mohawks and the Athletics.
opening night. The fans were excited to get out here finally to start the season.
Rubino's 26th pitch, and that one is fouled down the right side and into the kid zone.
Really nice first at bat here. Good battle for Buck.
Buck sporting his USF Bulls helmet. Just a nice motif to remind him comes from his stomping grounds. And he and his teammate Cortez getting the nods tonight to start. The 2-2. And that one is swung on and fouled back. So Rubino is struggling to get some batters out now, coming on for his 28th pitch, most of which have been from the stretch. The Albany Athletics coming off a nice win yesterday, 13-5. And they had some a nice pitching performance, not from Rubino, and that one taken just off the black for ball 3. So now Rubino getting ready for the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Very nice at-bat from Dylan Buck. We had Brian Carr for the Athletics yesterday. 8 strikeouts, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 2/3. Certainly not the performance they have out of Rubino today. Broken back dribbler to the left side, and that one cannot be handled by the third baseman. That's Nate Novak coming in for the charge, and again could not corral it.
I think part of the bat hit Rubino when it came back right at him. That's a pretty dangerous play. Hopefully he's all right.
Well, it's interesting. Albany, they're used to it, but for the Mohawks, a lot of these players are playing in a wood bat league mainly for the first time ever. Because remember, high school, metal bat, college, metal bat, and here they are swinging lumber for the first time, and there you go, Dylan Buck, your bat broke.
First inning, we see it already. How about that?
So an error is the ruling on Novak. And Buck will take it. He's on board. First and second, 2 outs for Paul Franzoni, who started all 45 games behind the plate for NJIT this year, going into his junior year. Rubino coming off that marathon with Buck delivers a first pitch fastball for a strike.
Good spot there, right in the outside corner. Gave him the call.
Franzoni, a .232 hitter in his NJIT career. 9 homers for Franzoni. And the runner goes, swing and a miss by Franzoni, and another double steal by the Mohawks.
Looks like the catcher just wasn't ready. Caught him off guard with another double steal.
That's Craig Mastriani, who once again has 2 runners go, and this time they eat his arm.
Would have been a tough play, though. Short hopped him. The pitcher did to him, so another double steal for the Mohawks.
So Franzoni finds himself in a prime situation for 2 RBIs. Rubino has the sign, 0-2 is the count. He deals, and that one is taken outside, ball 1.
Tried the outside corner again, just a little bit off the plate, though.
An opportunity here for Franzoni and the Mohawks to blow this game open basically before it even really started. Remember, we are only playing 7 innings tonight, an exhibition game for Amsterdam. Franzoni, the righty. Rubino, the lefty. He deals. And Franzoni skies that one to center field. Should be an easy play. And it is for the final out. So, at the end of the first inning, 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on base. And that first inning is brought to you by Jankowski Insurance. Are you in need of a free insurance quote? Call Jankowski Insurance at 518-883-3415. That's 518-883-3415. They're a proud sponsor of the Amsterdam Mohawks. Jankowski Insurance Agency has served Fulton and Montgomery County for 70 years. You can find them at 7 West Main Street in Brondelbin. You can also find them online at jankowskiinsurance.com or Facebook or Instagram and Twitter at Jankowski Insurance. So the Mohawks now taking the field for the top of the second inning rather. And Wyatt, a nice showing by the Mohawks, showing that they're more than just players, and even early on, they're a team.
Absolutely. I mean, they batted around. How many players came to the plate in that inning? 7 or 8?
That was 7. Franzoni was the 7th and
yeah,
final
so
out.
a really good first inning for the Mohawks. 2-0. Would like to get maybe 3 or 4 on there, but I can't ask for too much, can I?
That's right. Well, again, you had 2 stranded at second and third, and you saw just the blazing speed by some of these players, especially guys like Rook Ellington and Dalton Reese at the top of the order.
Yeah, 2 double steals in the inning. Maybe that will be a little foreshadowing to what's to come for the rest of the season in Amsterdam. Maybe they'll be an aggressive team on the base pass all season.
And that's Keith Griffin, I think, in a nutshell, right? You don't get to 11 seasons, 6 league championships, 366 wins just for nothing.
Absolutely, I agree.
And it's got to be tough for Griffin getting players that have never even met each other before largely, and now you're asking them to not only play, but play as a team, and so far I think they've got the memo. But on the other side, it's for the Albany Athletics, you have Joe Altieri, who is not too shabby himself. He's leading the charge, the GM and the head coach, but he has quite a few wins himself, 374, so he must be doing something right himself.
Yeah, duel of 2 greats here at head coach on opening night. You love to see it.
So Tyler Stewart once again taking the bump out of Southern Miss. Got through the first inning very efficiently, very cleanly. So we'll see what he has in store for the second frame. Stewart again going into his sophomore year. And leading off for Albany is Nate Novak, the third baseman, who was credited for that error.
Tough play with the bat. Get distracted probably a little bit from the bat flying off into the infield, but an error nonetheless.
Novak fouls the first pitch off the catcher's mask. 0-1 is the count. That was Cortez taking the hit. Seems to be okay. Now Stewart on the bump. 6'8" when he's not on the rubber, and a changeup has Novak ahead of it. So foul ball makes it 0-2. But Wyatt, he's 6'8" when he's not on the mound, and even with that, looks like an NBA player rather than an aspiring MLB player.
Got to put a little fear into the batter's eyes, right?
He is tall. And that one is skied in the infield, left side. Under it is the high schooler, Jeffrey Brennan, who makes the first out.
Nice play.
Brennan
Tough night for him last night, right? Got eliminated. Tough night for him last night, right? Got eliminated.
He is here mainly because his Amsterdam High School was eliminated from sectionals last night, but on the bright side, he gets the nod at shortstop for the Mohawks. And Brennan is scheduled to be the second hitter in the next frame. So 1 away. And now Steve DeLuca, the Bambino, is up at the plate. And I don't just give him that nickname for nothing. Why the day yesterday?
Oh, yeah, he went 3 for 3 with 2 home runs, a grand slam, and a 2-run home run, 6 RBIs total. That's a pretty good day at the ball.
I would say so, and the off-speed has the Bambino looking silly there. 0-2 is the count with 1 out. DeLuca, the first baseman, again was integral in their 13-5 win yesterday, and so far they are not off to a great start. Off-speed is fouled back. So 0-2 is the count. Stewart looks in for the sign. The 0-2. And that one is swung on and driven to center field for a base hit. It's a nice 2-strike hitting by DeLuca.
Well, Stewart must not have scared him that much on the mound. Brings it right back to him, right up the middle for a base hit. First one of the game.
Well, he took advantage of his off-speed stuff, got DeLuca into an 0-2 hole, but he went with the fastball to try to throw him off. DeLuca was not fooled. So, 1 out now, and Anthony Mantova steps onto the plate. DeLuca takes a lead off first, not much of a lead.
Maybe not a big threat to steal over there at first.
Certainly a double play threat, though, and that's where the infield is, double play depth. So Mantova, the right fielder, and he takes the second pitch outside for ball 2. So now you have Stewart maybe losing a little bit of control here. Still early. He still worked a very efficient first frame. In front of a nice crowd here in Amsterdam. Stewart deals, and that one is lined to center field. And a nice catch over there by Reese, or excuse me, make that Ellington for the second out. And retreating back to first base is DeLuca, so now 2 outs, and the catcher comes up. It's Craig Mastriani. And Mastriani, like as we said earlier, had a tough start defensively behind the plate.
Oh, yeah, he was picked on out there by the Mohawks, although a couple of them were bounced in there, so maybe not all his fault.
2 outs, DeLuca leads off first. Stewart deals, and that one is tied. A nice block by Cortez to keep DeLuca at first. You have that 78 breaking ball by Stewart to go along with his speedy fastball. Stewart deals, and that one is way inside and low. Cortez keeps it in front of him. Couldn't really find it, so DeLuca takes second base.
I thought it might have got him there on the way by. Apparently not, says the...
So DeLuca is credited with the stolen base. 2 outs and a 2-0 count. And all of a sudden, Mastriani is in an RBI situation. Stewart from the stretch checks back DeLuca. DeLuca with a second fastball is taken inside ball 3. It looks like Jeffrey Brennan, the shortstop, is trying to keep DeLuca close to second, but he steps off. And Stewart deals. Ball 4 is taken low. So a 2-out walk drawn by Mastriani. And in comes R.J. Pingator, the left fielder. And scratch that. It looks like Griffin is going to have a talk with Stewart, facing his first bit of adversity in his Mohawks career. Just to kind of keep him in check. And what do you think Griffin is talking to Stewart about right now?
Well, he's just saying stay with it. You know, he's lost a little bit of control here at the last couple batters. You know, first and second here, but there's 2 down. Just remind him stuff here, and his defense will play behind him.
And of course, many pitchers prefer to pitch from the windup, but mentally, a different approach going with runners on base as opposed to a clean pump.
Yeah, some pitchers, it does affect them for sure. You know, they get it in the back of their head that there's runners on. Some pitchers, it's a different story, though. They just block it out completely. So we'll see what Stewart has in store for us.
If Stewart's anything like Jacob deGrom, he gets better with runners on third.
The big Mets fan you are, Brad.
I'm a homer. I'm not going to lie. 2 outs, and Stewart deals. Changeup is taken for the first strike. So R.J. Pingator, again the left fielder. A righty-righty matchup. Stewart deals, and that one is chopped over to Stewart. Should be an easy play. Over to first for the final out of the inning.
Looks like whatever Griffin said to Stewart on the mound worked.
No runs, 1 hit. At the end, or rather in the middle of the second inning, it's the Mohawks 2 and the Athletics none. And this break is brought to you by Taco Bell. Taco Bell, a proud sponsor of the Mohawks. Your local Amsterdam Taco Bell, they're proud to support the Mohawks. Be sure to check out your ticket back for a coupon for a free season beef taco. Live Mas. So, Taco Bell trying to plug a free taco, I'd jump at the bit for that.
You're not kidding, Brad.
So we have a lineup change mid-game. I guess that's the difference between a regular season and an exhibition game. For both teams, they will both be batting 10 to get some extra bats in the order.
Yeah, why not? Just an exhibition game. We'll play around with it, right?
Rubino will bat for Albany, and Mundy will bat for Amsterdam. It's J.D. Mundy stepping into the lineup. Mundy out of Radford. Going into his senior year, actually. He's a power-hitting first baseman. Hit .302 for his career, but 13 home runs as well. Something to be proud of if you're J.D. Mundy. Less than 200 at-bats. So now Rubino will take his second crack at this Amsterdam Mohawks lineup. Had a tough start, giving up 2 runs, but it certainly could have been worse given the error behind him and the 2 double steals.
He had second and third with 2 outs. Could have got 2 more across the board right there with a base hit, but got out of the jam.
And once again, the Athletics not quite used to being in a hole. Again, they're undefeated. They're 5-0 on the year in their league. But there's a different story right now they're facing. And an opportunity for James Rubino to go up against kids that really have a future in the sport, potentially.
Yeah, it's going. Why not if he gets roughed up a little bit?
So on deck is Derek Miller, the second baseman out of Hudson Valley Community College, a local kid.
Yeah, right there in Troy, not too far away from here.
Getting ready to transfer over to Lemoyne for next season. So he is one of 2 add-ons in this Amsterdam Mohawk lineup tonight. He and his middle infield partner, Jeffrey Brennan, the shortstop. He is on deck right now. So Miller steps in, the righty, going up against Rubino, the lefty. Rubino deals, not fastball taken outside, ball 1. And Wyatt, you have to wonder if Rubino is shaken up a little bit mentally after that first frame, knowing this Mohawks lineup, they're all over his fastball and his changeup. What are you doing right now if you're Rubino?
Well, you just got to stay confident. I mean, you can't get down just after 1 bad inning. He's got to stay confident here in the second. Hopes to put him down early.
1-1 the count. Rubino deals, and that one is fouled back onto the tennis court beyond the cars.
Thank goodness.
So right now it looks like about half of the fans will be scurrying over towards the fan zone, the kid zone rather, down the first base line, right field line, I should say. And that one is chopped over to the left side and over to across the diamond for the first out. A beautiful play over there by Nate Novak, who had an error in the last inning, but comes up with a big-time throw here to get Derek Miller.
DeLuca with the scoop. He's having a pretty good game so far. 1 for 1 at the plate and a good scoop there to get the runner.
All right, Amsterdam zone. Jeffrey Brennan, the shortstop.
It's got to be cool for him. A lot of these players, you know, they're from different colleges around the country, so their parents might not be able to watch them, but different story here.
Growing up with the Mohawks in his backyard, now he is a Mohawk. Fastball, or rather changeup, taken, ball 1. Brennan is planning on attending Worcester Polytech next season. Worcester, excuse me. Worcester.
You can drop the R. Worcester.
2-0 the count for Brennan.
It is a tough one, Brad. I'll give it to you.
It's tough. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not from around here. Okay, I'm a Jersey boy, and so I've never heard of Worcester before. Now I know.
Even for the locals like me, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
appreciate that.
So we'll let this one slide, I guess.
Well, wherever he's going, he's up in the count 3-0. And you have to wonder if this high school kid, who's just weeks away from graduation, has the green light with 1 out. And the 3-0 is taken all the way by Brennan, ball 4. So with 1 out, there's 1 duck on the pond on first base, and that's Brennan. And now stepping up to the plate for Amsterdam is the designated hitter. It's J.D. Mundy. So we have basically 2 designated hitters right now. Mundy again out of Radford hit .302 throughout his first 3 years. Started his career at Virginia Tech, his first 2 seasons at VT. Transferred to Radford last season. And the breaking ball is taken off the plate, ball 1. Mundy with that big frame, 6 foot 210. Hits lefty, throws righty. Brennan with a healthy lead off. Rubino is going to check him back, and in safely on the dive is Brennan.
Kind of hesitated going back to the bag there, almost had him.
Well, that's tough. Rubino the lefty, and I guess God gave them a better pickoff move than the righty, so Brennan trusting his speed.
Yeah, I don't think I ever came close to picking somebody off back when I was playing in high school.
I got picked off a few times. Or Wyatt Cushman bringing you Amsterdam Mohawks baseball for the first time. The exhibition game between the Athletics and the Mohawks. We're playing 7 innings tonight. And it looks like there's some action going on in the Albany Athletics bullpen. And we'll see who they have in store for Rubino. This might be his last frame. Rubino looks back, Brennan. He deals, and that one is fouled down the left side into the forest.
That's where we can keep them, right, Brad? We can keep the foul balls.
Absolutely.
Foul balls over there, away from the cars.
I'll tell you what, too. About a year ago at this time, I'd say, my brother threw a baseball through my Subaru Forester.
Oh, so you don't want that again?
No. That would be deja vu in a bad way. Cost a pretty penny to replace, too.
Yeah, all my years playing Little League in high school, I never had one go through my car, my parents' car,
You
thank
don't know
goodness.
that. It could have already happened. You don't know.
That's true, that's true. I should knock on wood, too, so it doesn't happen later on in the game.
Fastball taken above the leathers for ball 2. 2-2 the count with 1 out. And on deck for Amsterdam is number 8. So now, Rubino, the 2-2. And that one is taken off the plate for ball 3. And when I say number 8, I meant Michael Turnsoni out of Wake Forest. So he's getting ready to bat. Count is full with 1 away, and you have Coach Griffin will, by sending Brennan here. Brennan stays, and a line drive into the runner field for a base hit. Brennan rounding second. He's going to try for third, and he's going to be safe at third. J.D. Mundy with a rocket over the right.
Nice base running by Brennan. Had to pause, thinking maybe the second baseman might catch it. So he paused, looked. Once he saw, he was right off for third.
And that's what we alluded to at the beginning of this at-bat by J.D. Mundy. Owen won the count. 1 runners on the corners for Rubino. Lefty-righty matchup in Ellington's favor. And he chops that one over to third. And the throw comes into home plate. And a valiant attempt by Brennan to try to avoid the tag, but to no avail.
Yeah, I don't know if he had any chance on scoring on that one. Third baseman was coming right home as soon as he fielded it.
A nice play by Nate Nova to avenge that error that he had in the first inning. So Brennan on 2 outs, or rather 1 out, went on contact and it cost him. He wasn't forced there, but that's where he went. So 2 outs now with a runner on first and second. Dalton Reese comes up to the... Reese again out of Tennessee. Much like Ellington, had an active day already with a stolen base to his name. And strike 1 is taken. J.D. Mundy with plenty of room over at second base. Rubino looking him back. And that pitch, or that ball, is chopped to the left side, rather, and Novak steps on third for the final out of the inning. At the end of two, the Mohawks lead 2-0. You'll want to serve up a meal everyone will savor. Transform special moments into happy memories with a bounty of summer signature items only from Price Chopper and Market 32. Price Chopper, one of our treasured sponsors. We thank all of our sponsors. Hawks lead 2-0. And right now on the field, we have a dancing competition going on for the kids. League night, so plenty of kids here. And we have some Fortnite dances on the field down the first base line. And plenty of action on and off the field here at Round Emily Stadium. So the Mohawks now trying to defend that 2-0 lead that they got in the first inning. And on comes Stewart once again for his third frame. And what have you seen from Stewart so far that has kind of led to this goose egg by Albany?
Well, he's been getting ahead of hitters early in the count. A couple of easy fly balls to center field he's had so far. I mean, he had that one tough stretch last inning. He walked a couple guys, but he got right out of it. So, going with him in the third inning here. And
that's what this exhibition game is pretty much all about. I was talking to Coach Griffin before the game, and he basically told me this game doesn't matter. So he doesn't really care about what he sees on the scoreboard. And that's the mental toughness of Stewart, and we saw that in the
Absolutely. I agree completely. And you've already seen a ton of people. We got the Amsterdam product there. Brennan, he's already moved from shortstop to third base. So a lot of moving parts here, like we said early on.
And then Brennan, one of those replacement players, as is Derek Miller, who has moved over to shortstop. And it looks like Dylan Buck is in at second base for the Mohawks. And rounding out the infield is, it looks like, Ellington at first base. So Stewart gets ahead. 0-1 is the count. He deals. And that breaking ball taken for strike two. The 0-2. And that one taken inside for ball one.
Good spot, though. Wasn't going to hurt him there, 0-2.
Trying to push the batter off the plate, maybe. And Novak takes that pitch low for ball two. Excuse me, that's Austin Lawrence, the second baseman. That bat of the night, chops that one over to short. Should be an easy play, and it is for the first out of the inning. A nice play over there by Miller. So Stewart gets through Lawrence easily, and now it will be the top of the order. Jonathan, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So we're excited to have you here, thinning, or rather the bottom of the third, between the Amsterdam Mohawks and the Albany Athletics. Now, you're just joining me here, but you've been watching the game. What far from both teams that kind of gives you an early indication of what we're going to see throughout the rest?
Well, so far it looks like Amsterdam's really got on Rambino, and they seem like they've been squaring most balls up, to be honest. He's been walking a couple of guys, and they're taking advantage of it. On the other side, sorry for that, Stewart has been dominating. Most Athletics players looked overmatched by his fastball, to be honest. And that's just how, 3 hits total in the game so far, but largely it looks like Amsterdam is in a much better place right now.
And you mentioned that Stewart has looked dominant at times, of course, rode in the second inning, but he navigated out of trouble, and that might not be very surprising, really, for the Amsterdam Mohawks and for Stewart. as a whole, really, because this is a player, this is a team in the Mohawks have players that have a big future in baseball. All of them hoping to get drafted one day, playing high-level D1 baseball. And the Albany Athletics, yes, they're undefeated in their league, but you're right, they seem to be a little overmatched.
Yeah, and you can sort of see that sort of differential in playing ability so far in just the first few innings.
And new pitcher for Albany, it's Nick Bird taking the bump, number 11. So Bird, we'll see some action after this between inning contest is over. It looks like we have a lucky winner, DeLuca, who had a nice single up the middle in an 0-2 hole shore, but he's also been fielding his position very nicely at first base. Had some nice scoops on low throws from the left side. So something that you would think Nick Bird, the new pitcher, is hoping to see behind him. Out of the University of Albany. So hometown kid for the Athletics. Great Dane, vicious.
Exactly.
Great Danes. And leading off Hawks is the catcher, Julio Cortez, out of South Florida. Cortez now gets his second crack at things. Grounded out last time up. And Bird delivers a first pitch fastball in for a strike, 0-1. Bird from the wind line, he deals, and that one off the plate, 1-1 is the count.
Now just up here in the booth, Bird looks like a small guy, but he's still pumping pretty hard.
That's right, our radar gun showing mid-80s on his fast. And he deals outside once again. Cortez just browsing, 2-1 is the count. And Cortez, once again, that huge hitter for South Florida last year. And he chops that one over to short. Cortez muscling down the first baseline, and an error botched on the transfer by Cam Overbaugh. So Cortez is on an error, and stepping up to the plate right now is Sam Zasek. Zasek at a high point, had a nice at-bat in his last time up in the first inning, and he was man on a nice sac fly over to left field. Drove in Dalton Reese.
Yeah, but I believe made the game 2-0 right then. That point.
So. Zasek, the lefty. And Cortez taking the lead off first, held on by DeLuca. And that one taken low at 88 mile an hour. And Zasek, a strikeout problem in his freshman year at High Point. 35 Ks to his name. And he takes the second pitch outside, ball 2. 35 strikeouts, 164 at-bats. Certainly a number that you'd like. He's here in Amsterdam. Try to improve his game.
And, just as a freshman, he'll have plenty of time to improve that, but certainly something you want to see go down.
Absolutely. And he swings and fouls that one over to the left side and into the trees. And Zasek, again, with room to grow in his game, but also in his stature, stands at the towering 6'2", but only 215 pounds. So you'd imagine that some more power to be gained for Zasek.
Yeah, especially once you go through those Division I strength and conditioning programs, guys put on a lot of weight.
2-1 the count. No outs. Cortez taking the lead off first. And Bird. And that one is grounded into the hole for a base hit. Cortez will stop at second. And a no-out base hit over there by Zasek. And all of a sudden, the Mohawks with runners on first and second, no one out. And that's a nice at-bat by Zasek, who mentioned that when the power is really not there, he didn't have any home runs in his freshman year. Not to say that he can't be a productive member of the lineup. So there you go. Beats the second baseman to the punch. And now we have Jackson Wenstrom out of Hudson Valley Community College stepping up to the plate. And that curveball is taken outside for ball one. Lost control of that one. And Wenstrom coming off an incredible first 2 years at college, as we mentioned before, broke the career home run record at Hudson Valley with 23, but maybe more importantly, hitting .418 for his career.
That's incredible. You know, clearly seeing the ball well his entire career, and he's batting now fourth for the Mohawks, so fifth, sorry, my apologies.
Wenstrom, advantage Wenstrom with the lefty-righty matchup. No outs, the 1-1, and he shows bunt, pops that one near the screen and off the screen. So Wenstrom trying to catch the defense and even me off guard with that bunt attempt.
That's smart. You'll never expect the 5-hitter to bunt, you know. And before you know, you have the defense playing back, especially the corners. You drop one down, and you could have bases loaded. So, you know, smart play, not something that you're expecting, as you were saying, Brad.
Play to make a close game into a rout with a grand slam. Amsterdam has the here. And Dylan Buck out of USF, Mohawk career, with 1 out in the bottom of the. Bird has the sign, he delivers, and that one is fouled for strike 2. Looked like he got his own leg there.
Yeah, that never feels too good.
So Franzoni, who made solid contact again in his last center, and the Mohawks would take that here. We keep on touting the Mohawks' horn in their situational play, situational hitting approach, and 2 strikes. Bird deals, and that one taken off the plate, 2-2.
And you see with the corners in, slightly bigger gaps between and first and second and short and third. Makes it a little easier to just punch a ground ball through.
Yeah, and Zasek did just that. First baseman and the second baseman. And that's how he got to where he is now. That's third base. The 2-2. And that one off the fist into the hole. DeLuca retreating back to first, and that one is botched by the. Everyone is safe, and a run scores. And that's the second baseman, Austin Lawrence, could not handle the hot play for Albany.
Yeah, and one they really needed right there. Again, if you think about it, 2 almost botched plays. You got the low throw that only allowed 1 out, and then right there the botched ground ball by Lawrence that allowed 1 to score and with no outs. No outs on the play.
Second error for Albany. Cost them a run, so 3-0, the Mohawks lead. Still with 1 out, and the base is jammed. First pitch in there, fastball, strike 1. And correction, that's the 3rd error of the game, 2nd of the inning. Derek Miller stepping into the plate. Miller takes the fastball outside, ball 1. So right now, if you're Albany, you've had 3 errors. You're kicking the ball all over the infield. What do you do to kind of regroup and get yourself back in this game?
You know, it's tough. It's all mentality, and right now they don't have, probably playing a little tight.
And that one is lined into center field for a base hit. 1 run at least will score. It looks like they're waving home another, and that's 2 runs for the Mohawks. And a bit of a pickle there, but a base hit by Miller. So Buck scores and Wenstrom or rather Franzoni scores. Excuse me, Wenstrom and Buck, who follows Wenstrom, and the Mohawks lead 5-0.
Yeah, and taking advantage of those errors, they blow it up and right now. And, you know, going back, Albany playing a little tight right now. You know, just got to go back to the fundamentals. You know, it sounds easy, but it's a lot harder to do.
So now Jeffrey Brennan, Amsterdam's own, stepping into the plate. Runners on the corners with 1 out. And Brennan takes the first pitch in there, strike 1. And trying to pick off Miller at second, got him! Nick Bird picks off Derek Miller, slip base, and all of a sudden, 2 outs for Albany. So that will help the Athletics, to say the least, to get out of this jam and stop the bleeding. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter coming up, or rather pinch runner. Nick Miller was just picked off. He will take Franzoni's spot on third base. So I guess that shows that we are playing an exhibition game here. So Miller now with a chance to redeem himself on the base paths. And Franzoni can take a break off in a stickier situation with a clean count, 2 outs, and a man on third. And that one above the screen, that one's dangerous. So much for that screen.
Yeah, and so much for all they parked here. I'm sure at least one has gotten
Don't remind me.
hit.
Don't remind me, Jonathan. 0-2 the count. Bird with an opportunity to get out of the jam, and that one fouled back, an off-speed pitch. And Brennan was able to foul it back and stay alive. Brennan walked his first time up, worked his way over to third base inning. Or rather, second inning, excuse me. Oh and 2. Bird has the sign, setting up off the plate. And that one is taken off the plate. Ball 1. A nice block by Mastriani to keep Miller on third base. 5, taking a modest lead off of third. You have to imagine that the Mohawks are going to be a little bit more conservative on the base paths than they were in the... Bird delivers, and Brennan fouls that one over to the right side into the... And a souvenir for a lucky fan. And Jonathan, even though Brennan is not even in yet, seems to be a nice at-bat kind of developed by Brennan.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, you're right. He's putting together a lot of good at-bats this game. Another foul ball right there. You know, that's just like, you know, that's just giving him probably more confidence as he gets ready for his freshman year in college.
And Brennan again getting ready for Worcester Polytech. I got it that time. Amsterdam zone. 1-2 the count. And Brennan fouls that one off once again. And you hit the nail on the head, Jonathan, when you said that Amsterdam, they're really getting Albany's pitchers to work hard here. And that's tough. Even though this is an exhibition game, Albany has a very short bench working here. They only have 3 replacement players listed on the lineup card. And they already used one in Bird to relieve Rubino.
And luckily, it's only a 7-inning game because this far, you know, this early into the game, you don't want to be going to your relievers already, which Albany has done, as you mentioned.
But it's interesting, too, because we keep on saying, okay, Amsterdam has these young and bouncy players with a lot of potential, and it makes sense that they were kind of all over Rubino's stuff. But here you have a guy in Bird who is from the University of Albany. He is of Amsterdam age. And right now going up against essentially his peers. Ground ball over to short. Fired over to first and gets Brennan by a hair for the final out of the frame. 3 runs scored by the Mohawks. 5 runs in total. Still only 4 hits for Amsterdam. And this break, once again, Jankowski Insurance. Are you in need of a free insurance quote? Call Jankowski Insurance at 518-883-3415. That's 518-883-3415. They're a Amsterdam Mohawks. Jankowski Insurance Agency has served Fulton and Montgomery County for 70 years. You can find them at 7 West Main Street, Dalbin. You can also find them online at jankowskiinsurance.com or Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jankowski Insurance. Amsterdam now throwing out a new arm in relief of Stewart, who had a nice day on the bump for. What did you see from Stewart in his Amsterdam debut?
Well, ability, except for the second inning, ability to pound the strike zone and, mixing up all his pitches. He was keeping the Albany Athletics hitters off balance, and, that's the name of the game. When you can mix up your speeds, throw a strike, that's all you need to do to be successful.
And now out of Kentucky is right-handed pitcher Will Gambino. And Gambino of Haddonfield, New Jersey. It's my backyard.
There we go.
Jersey boy. So Gambino also making his Amsterdam debut. Was added to the roster late, but just one of the players from Kentucky that Amsterdam has year after year. And Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State, those are typical colleges that you see on the Amsterdam roster. So Gambino tasked with defending he's inherited here in the 7-inning showdown between the Mohawks and the Athletics. If you're just joining us, I'm Brad Klein alongside my partner Jonathan Kaiser, bringing you Mohawks baseball for the first time this year. Again, an exhibition game between the so good, undefeated Albany Athletics and the Amsterdam Mohawks. So for Albany is Chris Mita, the left fielder, stepping into the plate. Gambino deals, and some heat early on, and off the black for strike one. Looks like the outfield is in closer than we've seen relative to other batters so far tonight. Gambino's fastball is low, and there you see the difference between the Athletics and the Mohawks. Gambino's fastball clocked in at 92 miles an hour. That's a guy who has certainly made a name for himself in the SEC, a flamethrower, if you will. And we have not seen anywhere really close to 90 from the Albany side of things. That one skied down the left field line into foul territory, and in to make the catch is the left fielder. How about that play by Dalton Reese? He's been all over the field tonight.
He has a great job juggling that almost in fair play bullpen that we have going on both sides. So he had to sort of deal with the terrain there.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the game. You have to wonder, because you're right, it does kind of trickle in to the outfield there. And I get they're going for that little vintage or retro look. Or
An old stadium in general.
Yeah. But you're right, that's a tricky situation for Reese, but he handled it like a pro. And it's a very impressive play considering Reese just got here 2 days ago. So he has not familiarized himself with the terrain as he would in his home field in Tennessee.
Oh, exactly.
So an interesting first out in the top of the fourth inning. Gambino deals off speed is taken, or excuse me, fastball taken for ball one. Gambino has the sign, he delivers, and that one taken just off the black for ball two. And this is Dan Barbero stepping into the plate for Albany.
It's interesting watching Gambino. Looks like he comes slightly, he's a little more closed off. Comes slightly across his body. It'll be interesting to see him against a righty.
And his hat flies off. That's how much heat he's delivering tonight. So ball 3 is taken by Barbero. With a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, still something to write home about if you're Gambino. Barbero struck out his first time up. And Gambino deals, and that one is taken up above the zone, ball 4. So Barbero is on with a 1-out walk, and Gambino has his first opportunity to throw from the stretch here in his Amsterdam career. And now stepping in is Nate Novak, the third baseman, who, as we mentioned before, had a costly error in the first frame, but defensively he's made up for it. Made some nice plays, including a nice throw at home, which prevented the Mohawks from scoring yet another run. Gambino deals, and that one taken, ball 1.
And also now a chance for him to make it up with his bat.
That's right, Novak with an opportunity here, and if the Athletics want to make a comeback, now's the time, because again, we're only playing 7 innings tonight, right here in the top of the 4th inning. Gambino from the stretch, inside, almost hit him, but a nice block by Cortez. And excuse me, it looks like there was a sub mid-inning or between innings. It's Paul Franzoni now behind the plate in place of Cortez. So he caught the first 3 innings. Now it's Franzoni's turn, who keeps that fastball in front of him. Ball 3. So now Gambino has thrown 7 consecutive balls.
Yeah, and, you know, he's been sitting 90 to 92. Definitely has the most velocity we've seen out of the pitchers today. Maybe he's a little bit amped up, even though it's an exhibition game, because, as you said, 7 balls in a row, he's had a little trouble finding the strike. So, again, only his second. Sorry, this is his third batter he has faced. And, but again, he just walked him, but still has some room to work with.
Ball 4 is the call, and he's not missing by a little either. He's forcing Franzoni to throw his body all over the place. And right now the pitching coach, John Reed, making a visit to Gambino. Early on in his Mohawks career, 1 out, runner on first and second. And stepping into the plate is Steve DeLuca. And this is the guy that you want up if you're Albany, because DeLuca coming off a red-hot night, and he was the man for Albany.
Yeah, driving in 6 on 2 home runs, including a grand slam and another opportunity here for a big hit that could bring the Athletics within major striking distance of the Mohawks.
So unlike at the collegiate level, there's not much of a scouting report to work off of if you are Gambino against DeLuca. What we do know is the guy has some pop.
Definitely.
So Franzoni and Reed making a visit with Gambino at the mound, still with 1 out, trying to settle things down. Trying to hold Barbero on second, just a little bit to keep him honest, is the middle infield. Not exactly holding him on. Gambino deals, and swing and a miss by the Bambino, Steve DeLuca.
You know, it's very interesting that he had the green light to swing, especially with 8 balls thrown in a row.
But a strike is swung on and missed by DeLuca, but it also looked like that was in the strike zone, so Gambino may be settling down here. The 0-1, and that one is drilled to foul territory down the left field line. 0-2 now. And DeLuca singled his first time up, and he did that in a 2-strike count over to center field. Albany would love to see that out of DeLuca once again. That's an impressive showing.
And clearly a good hitter, you know, the ability to get a hit with 2 strikes. Still in an 0-2 count, the count is in favor of Gambino, which you want to see after walking a couple of guys.
We've seen the heater. We'll see if Gambino can get him with the off-speed. Gambino deals. Off-speed is taken up in the zone for ball 1. An 82-mile-an-hour changeup from Gambino. And that's the thing, because, again, Amsterdam, they have the youth and they might even have the athleticism, but Albany has the experience in their favor. And you have a guy like DeLuca, who, as I said earlier, singled on a 2-strike count. We'll see if he can do the same here in a sticky situation. And that ball is taken inside, almost hit him. So now the count is 2-2. Once again, a nice crowd on a perfect night here in Amsterdam at Rao Family Stadium. If you're just joining us, I'm Brad Klein alongside my partner Jonathan Kaiser, bringing you Mohawks baseball on YouTube Live. And Gambino jams DeLuca, and he fouls that back just past the booth. 2-2 the count. Gambino still trying to get DeLuca, who's making him work. One out. No one holding Novak first base. And Gambino deals, and that one is fouled onto the tennis courts beyond my car.
That is fortunate. And we've seen a lot of great at-bats from both teams so far, and it's just one of those days where the pitchers are just on the unlucky these hitters just going deep into counts, fouling balls off.
And a sticky situation for Amsterdam on the field, but in the grand scheme of things, this might be good medicine for the Mohawks, and specifically Gambino, who deals, and that one gets past Franzoni and the runners. It looked like it got through the 5-hole. A pass ball by Franzoni, and now we're seeing the double play was intact, but now not so much, with first base left open and a 3-2 count with 1 out. But as I was saying earlier, Jonathan, don't you think there's something to be gained? Is rung up. So 2 away now. Gambino, the flamethrower, took a big risk rather, and threw the breaking ball, and he won it. So Anthony Mantova now stepping in. Mantova takes the slider for strike 1. And Jonathan, how about that pitch by Gambino? That was his best pitch of the day, I would say, right on the black.
Definitely, and maybe or maybe not a favorable call by the umpire, but certainly a pitch that was delivered well by Gambino, got the benefit of the doubt, and very important, the most important pitch for Gambino this inning.
90-mile-an-hour fastball just below the knees for ball 1. Righty-righty matchup, the 1-1. And Mantova fouls that one down the...
Tougher to pick up.
Franzoni setting up outside. Gambino off the plate for ball 2. So it'll be interesting to see here with Barbero on third, who has some speed, runs pretty well. If he will go on a ground ball here. Of course, 2 outs, so he probably will. And that one taken outside, ball 3.
Yeah, Gambino, almost a very similar pitch to the one that he struck out DeLuca on. So probably wanted that same call there, would have gotten him right out of the inning.
3-2, 2 outs. Gambino trying to get it unscathed. Gambino deals, and that one is swung on, chopped, mound. Coming on is Brennan, fires over to first, in time for the final out. A nice play by the high school senior to get the runner. That's Mantova, the speedy Mantova. And Gambino can take a bit of a sigh of relief there, Jonathan, because he got out of a big jam, and wouldn't you know it, still a goose egg for the Athletics.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like they might put up, but Gambino gritted his teeth and got through it, again, as he said, unscathed. So very impressive showing at the end for Gambino.
Gambino impressive in his first showing, in his mental toughness, if you will. This break is... It's the time of year for graduations, backyard barbecues, and summer parties, and you'll want to serve up a meal everyone will savor, from special moments into happy memories with a bounty of summer signature items only from Price Chopper and Market 32. So Price Chopper, one of our prized sponsors. And for Albany, is Nick Bird, again out of Albany. And Amsterdam made Bird work quite a bit in the last frame. And we'll see if he can get through the order a bit quicker, a little bit more efficiently this time around. Amsterdam is getting ready to send up J.D. Mundy, who was inserted into the lineup as the 10th hitter mid-game, but hey, exhibition game.
Exactly. You don't even see 10 hitters unless it's an exhibition game.
Mundy hit a rocket over to right center field. That power hit lefty turned on one. Going into his senior year at Radford, he started his career at Virginia Tech, made the transfer, but his college career decorated one, hitting over 300. But the big problem for Mundy has always been strikeouts. He had 51 strikeouts in 199 at-bats. That's a number that you'd like to see cut down come his senior year. So a boomer bust guy steps into the plate, and a big exit velo, pretty high on that one. Mundy attacks Bird early on the first pitch, and he's on with the leadoff single.
And see attacking Bird probably wanting to get ahead after last inning, and just attacking first pitch fastball that he saw.
And in comes Rook Ellington. Ellington scored a run and ground his choice so far today.
They adjust to that.
A tough transition indeed. And Bird delivers a fastball down the third base line, and Bird was trying to wait it foul, but it stops on the turf for an infield hit.
It's a little home field advantage right there.
And Bird was just waiting for the grass to kind of dip that ball off to the left and into foul territory. That was his only chance to get Ellington.
Yeah, perfectly placed ball. Ellington, as we said, has a lot of speed. Probably no shot that he was going to get him out, and so, of course, hoping for the best that it would go foul.
And that's a night that Albany has had so far here in the bottom of the fourth. The speedy Ellington not held by DeLuca at first, nor is Mundy at second. Fastball taken on the inside corner, strike one to Dalton Reese. Reese scored a run and flew out, or rather fielder's choice, grounded into a fielder's choice so far today, much like his outfield counterpart Ellington. And that one is taken low, ball one. So Reese out of Tennessee has been impressive so far, glove and especially his wheels. Cortez, the guy that the Mohawks probably want up in this situation, batting third tonight. Got the start at catcher, but was relieved by Franzoni defensively on the lineup, the batting order. And he chops that one over to the left side, and Novak onto home for the first out of the inning. So Novak, once again, the third baseman, gets it over to home for the force out, and a bit of a sigh of relief taken by the Athletics.
Yeah, they always say first out is the hardest to get, and right there, nice ground ball to third base, getting the easy force out at home. And now you have a chance to get one pitch, double play, and get yourselves out of the inning.
That might be tough to do with Sam Zajac up at the plate. He only has 2 stolen bases, but he runs well. And Bird deals. Zajac flies that one out to left center field, going back on the track at the wall. And the Amsterdam Mohawks are going to score some here. 2 runs. Trying to make sure that the Mohawks don't strand 2 runners in scoring position for the second time today. They did that in the first inning.
And, ground ball will end the inning.
And it's a first pitch off the plate, but it looked like Buck went around, so, or excuse me, Buck held his swing. Ball 1. So the Mohawks have an aim. The biggest one by Sam Zasek, who is on second base now. A big double opposite way. Field. Now Buck takes that ball in the dirt, and over to home plate is Cortez. Or rather, yes, Cortez. So it looks like the Mohawks themselves their 8th run of the game. And all things are going wrong right now for Albany.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a cross-up as Bird was talking, and clearly had to go over to make sure that they were on the same page.
Good cue. So now 2 outs, runner on third, and Buck grounds that one over to Novak at third. Novak fires over to first for the final out of the inning. So the Mohawks strike again, 3 runs in the 4th frame, or what do they call it? Nacho cheese guys. So if you were to get a Doritos Locos Taco, you have those 2 options. A high quality meal at Taco Bell. That I can promise. So now coming on for his 2nd frame is Gambino. And Gambino trying to work through this inning quickly, so maybe Jonathan and I can get some Taco Bell before they close. But Gambino showed us some mental toughness in his 1st frame. And now something that has gone a little unnoticed here, because Albany has threatened to score on multiple occasions and Gambino ran into some trouble. Albany only has 1 hit. Most of this pain that Amsterdam has been facing has been self-inflicted. And Gambino's first pitch fastball fouled over to the left side into the forest.
Exactly, Brad, as you're saying, you know, all the damage, or even though there's been a lack of damage, all the base runners that have been left on have been caused by a lot of walks from Mohawks pitchers. You know, the umpire has been squeezing them a bit, it seems, but definitely not the Athletics who are beating these pitchers right now for the Mohawks. It's the Mohawks pitchers beating them. Yeah, one of the few good pieces we've seen the Albany Athletics hitters get today off of Mohawks pitchers, unfortunately right at the left fielder for out number 1.
And they always say, I've never played the outfield, I don't know about yourself, but that's a tough play. If it's coming right at you, you don't know what to do, how to judge the ball. Depth perception could be a problem, but he played that well. 1 out, and that first pitch taken up in the zone for ball 1.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Gambino, stretch with no one on. He deals, taken, ball 2. Pingator. He's had a rough go of it so far. Grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. Pingator with the. Gambino delivers off the plate for ball 3. So Gambino has struggled a little bit with his control, but he's certainly been keeping the runners on the base paths rather than across the plate. 3-0 the count. We'll see if Pingator has the green light. The 3-0 is swung on and missed on the fastball. And Pingator looking silly off balance.
Yeah, and as the Athletics coach, that's not something you want to see on a 3-0 swing. You know, it looked like he was almost fooled there.
This is uncharted territory for the Athletics here. They're undefeated so far. And a broken bad dribbler to the left side. Trying to beat it out is Pingator, but a beautiful throw from the left side for the Mohawks. How about that play by, it looks to be Derek Miller, the replacement player.
Nice play, and also great scoop over there at first.
Scoop by J.D. Mundy, who again started the game, not in the game, second inning, all of a sudden he's player, but now showing off his glove. Lundy has hit 2 rockets so far today. An exciting player for the Mohawks. Gambino is up in the zone, ball 1. So that's an interesting play, right? Because especially for the Mohawks and even guys like Brennan and Miller who are not actually on the roster, they're really just replacing for the first 3 games. They're, I guess I would say, teamwork and communication on that play. They're charging in and communicating with Brennan saying, hey, this is my play, I've got it.
Yeah, and again, that just goes back to, these guys have been playing the game for so long. Second instinct at this point.
2-0 the count, 2 away. Gambino deals and is in the zone. Strike 1. So still Albany 1 hit, 3 errors. More importantly, a goose egg in the runs column. So Gambino looking in for the sign on 2-1. He deals, and that one is fouled back beyond the booth. 2-2 the count. Oh. 2-2 the count to Austin Lawrence. Lawrence his first time up. And swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with the breaking ball. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits. And Gambino is clean in his second frame. And we'll take this moment to mention Perth Dental Office. Compassionate, caring, affordable dentistry. Area's finest dental care for over 20 years. Please call for an appointment at 518-843-0200. That's 843-0200. Or visit them at perthdentaloffice.com. And here we have a replacement. Once again, like Brennan, we have John.
Yes, hello everybody listening. It is John Iris here, joining the broadcast for hopefully for the rest of the game.
All right, John, so what have you seen from both sides so far that has led us as we take a break right here for the national anthem? That's 518-883-3415. They're a proud spot, Mohawks. They've served Fulton and Montgomery County for 70 years. You can find them at 7 West Main Street and in Broadalbin, or you can also online at jankowskiinsurance.com or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, at Jankowski Insurance. So, John, as I earlier, what have you seen from both teams that has led us to this 8-0 differential, a rout by the Mohawks?
Well, it seems like the Mohawks have been picking the right pitches to swing at. They've been working the count quite a bit, getting the pitch count in their favor, and then pouncing on the foul to get the opportunity.
Franzoni started the game with a fly out to center field and then reached on an error, made his way all the way over to third base. Bird deals, and that one is taken for strike 2.
Looks like Bird might be settling in here, starting out a batter 1 and 2 when he's been getting behind most of the guys thus far.
And Franzoni rips one over to the left side into left field for a base hit, his first hit of the day and his Mohawks career.
And right as I say that, he leaves a fastball right down the middle of the plate.
So now the second baseman from Hudson Valley Community College, Derek Miller, who has been all over the field tonight, got some second. He's at third, and a nice play in the last frame. And Miller representing the Mohawks well at debut. Ground ball up the middle, beyond the shortstop's grasp. That's Overbaugh, couldn't get there. And a single for Miller. First and second.
And the Mohawks just keep hitting. They've now opened up the bottom of the fifth with back-to-back singles.
So now next. With one out. DeLuca is not holding the runner on first. Franzoni is free at second. That pitch is taken for strike three. Got him with the fastball. Second base trying to hold the runner on. Brown delivers a fastball off the plate, ball one.
And if the Athletics want to get rid of that goose egg, now is probably the time with 2-1 out in the inning.
8-0 the Mohawks lead. Brad Klein, John Iris bringing you the action here at Rao Family Stadium. Fly ball left field, back on the track, and that one is caught by Dalton Reese, who fires it over to the third baseman, Brennan, to hold the runner.
Nice catch up along the fence there. I thought that might ricochet, but left fielder got his sights on it and made the catch right at the...
Now, Dalton Reese certainly has his bearings very, very well out there in left field. He made that nice play against the dugout down the left field line, and now knew exactly what against that Fenway Park replica that we have here in Amsterdam. 2 outs here for Brown. Changeup is in there for strike. And Mundy at first base is playing practically on the lip between the infield turf and the outfield grass. And a ground ball over to the left side, through the hole for a base hit, and the Athletics, hopefully for their sake, can get a roll. The throw is in time, and Dalton Reese guns him from left field.
Wow, what a throw that was, and that keeps it a shutout for the Mohawks through balance every step of the way, and are hoping to get a shutout in their first game of the season.
To Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. Looks like something that John Iris likes.
Yes, as a Red Sox fan, Sweet Carol invokes memories of summer days at Fenway Park for me.
So right now, the Athletics have a new man on the mound. And this kind of slows down the Amsterdam offense, which has been virtually unstoppable today. And in part, yes, because of their 10 hits, but also because of what they've done after getting on base.
Yes, absolutely. They've been very active on the base paths, trying to get into scoring position, taking advantage when the guys behind them are getting hits.
In comes Dalton Reese, the hero from last. Reese out of Tennessee. And Reese has walked and scored a run. Grounded out to a fielder's choice, but he also ripped a single and scored another run off of that. So certainly the man that Amsterdam wants to lead off this inning. And Reese takes the fastball up in the zone for ball.
That's been a big problem for the Athletics pitchers thus far. They've been missing with their fastballs, which of course is not ideal in terms of getting ahead in the count.
Dalton Reese coming off his freshman year at Tennessee, and he fouls that one back to the screen. 1-1 the count. Coming off a nice year, freshman year at Tennessee, but in his high school career was a decorated player in Colliersville, Tennessee. Because, I mean, when he gets on big walk or a single into a double, led the team with 24 stolen bases. That's a school record for the single season. or out, off the plate rather, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Albany trying to get out of this half inning, get back onto the offensive side and score some runs, make this a ball game. Fastball taken off the plate, count is full. Three into the count. No one on, no one out. Dalton Reese looks in. And Reese swing and a miss. Strike 3. Out fastball looked like it was off the plate.
Yeah, a few inches off the outside corner, but with 2 strikes, got to do your best to at least try to foul it off. And Reese just missed that one. It was a good fastball.
Reese had a nice at-bat there. Pieced together a nice at-bat. 3-2. And in comes Julio Cortez. Cortez has grounded out to third base, reached on an error, and also hit a single in his last time up. He also came around to score. Now Cortez takes that fastball inside, ball 1. And I guess, John, this game is all really about looking forward and what this game and what this progress means for the rest of the season, for the season rather. What are you thinking if you're Coach Griffin, as that ball gets past the catcher, if you're Coach Griffin, building off of this game and looking out to the rest of the season?
Well, I think there's a lot of good things they can take from this one. Obviously, the bats in particular, and honestly, their pitching too. They will have to work a little bit more on just, stringing hits together. They've only scored in 3 innings, so maybe Coach might want to see more attempts. Obviously, you can't score every inning, but trying to get those hits strung together and producing runs every time that you get a guy in scoring position.
Two on the count with 1 out. And Cortez takes the fastball off the plate, 3-1. So Julio Cortez, again out of South Florida, from Weston, Florida. Only 1 home run, but the notable statistic in his freshman year, hit .354. Yes, only 65 at-bats, but still an impressive number. And Cortez takes that one for strike 2. Count is full, 1 out, no one on base. Amsterdam trying to get some more insurance runs here. And a swing and a miss by Cortez. Got him with the fastball. So 2 strikeouts here for Albany in this bottom of the 6th inning.
High cheese there does the work. It's always a good pitch for 2 strikes.
Now out of High Point, it's Sam Zasek, the outfielder. Zasek had a big double in his last at-bat to go along with a single, so he's 2 for 3 on the day with a run scored. Zasek gave it a ride. It was nearly out, but you see that crevice on the outfield wall in left center field, and it just hit the deep part of the outfield.
Yeah, it's tough. The outfield fence goes back about 10 feet right there, and he just got unlucky, hit it to the perfectly wrong part of the park.
And that one is flied out to center field, left center field, a mile high. Coming on, and to make the catch is the center fielder. A nice play over there for Albany. Your Amsterdam Mohawks 8, the Albany Athletics 0. So at the end of 6, the Mohawks lead 8-0. And it looks like Isaac Brown is coming on for his 2nd frame for Amsterdam. This break brought to you by Jankowski Insurance once again. Are you in need of a free insurance quote? call Jankowski Insurance at 518-883-3415. That's 518-883-3415. They're a proud sponsor of the Amsterdam Mohawks. Jankowski Insurance Agency has served Fulton and Montgomery County for 70 years. You can find them at 7 West Main Street in Brodalbin, or you can also find them online at jankowskiinsurance.com. Try faith at Jankowski Insurance.
And for those of you listening at home, we do have more sponsors coming so that we hope to have in place by Saturday's game. So you won't have to listen to the same 4 ads over and over again all season long.
I thought they were pretty well written, though. I thought it had a nice ring to it.
Yes, very well read also by you, Brad. You're doing
that.
a great job with them. I just figure when I'm at home watching TV, I can't stand when they play the same commercials over and over again.
Well, that should just indicate to you how strong of an insurance agency Jankowski is. So now coming on for the top of the 7th is Isaac Brown trying to get that hold and send us home. Once again, a 7-inning exhibition is what we have here between the Mohawks and the Athletics. 8-0 is the score, and again, something that's gone a little under the radar. Despite the Athletics kind of threatening at times, they only have 3 hits, and that's what's held them back all night.
Yeah, they really just haven't been able to get a good read on the Mohawks pitchers. I mean, Mohawks guys have been mixing up their pitches very well and keeping the Athletics hitters off balance as best they can.
Brown deals, and that one is swung on and missed for strike 1. A big cut by Steve DeLuca. And DeLuca is 1 for 2 rather. He grounds that one up the middle. A nice play over there by the shortstop, and an even better scoop by Mundy to get the first out.
And he did a nice little toe tap over there at first base. It looked like his foot got pulled off the bag with the throw, but he was able to tap the base quick before the runner got there.
That's Dylan Buck, who made the play up the middle, who's had a tough go of it at the plate, but making up for it with his glove. So the Athletics down to their final 2 outs. Fastball taken inside. 1-0. And, you know, coming into this exhibition game, John, everyone knew that the Athletics were kind of behind the 8 ball before first pitch. But they didn't help themselves out with their 3 errors and 3 untimely, costly errors.
Yep, errors will almost always come back to bite you as Brown hits the batter for the Athletics.
That's Anthony Mantova taking a shot to the spine, I believe.
Might have gotten him on that left arm, possibly. Right where there's not very much protection, just bone on ball.
So Mantova taking a minute, up on his feet. That's tough because we keep on talking about how Brown throws heat.
Yep, that looks like it was an 86-mile-an-hour fastball that he hit the batter with there. That's got to hurt, I imagine.
It looked like Brown's 2-seam had a little bit too much movement maybe for Mantova to get out of the way. Then again, it could have just been the straight speed of Isaac Brown. And this has got to be tough, too. I mean, speak from a pitcher's perspective here. What are you thinking when you just hit a batter? Does that shake your confidence and your kind of composure?
I would say not as much at this point. Probably earlier on in his high school career, he might have gotten a little bit more shaken up with that. But I think as a pitcher, you really just have to try to get that out of your mind immediately, treat it as a quick mistake, and get back at it with the next batter.
So with 1 out and a man on first, Craig Mastriani comes on to try to piece together this, what would be unbelievable Athletics comeback.
Crazier things have happened, but I can't say that I've ever seen it.
Infield at double play depth. Maybe we read about it in high school, textbooks, what have you. 1-0 count to Mastriani. Infield at double play depth, trying to send us home here. And check swing is foul. Trickles back over to the infield. Mastriani is 0 for 1 with a walk today. The catcher has had a tough go of it. Was tested early on in the first inning and had to deal with some wild pitches as well. And Mastriani rips that one to left field. Going back is Reese, who makes the catch, and retreating back to first is Mantova.
That was one of the more hard-hit balls we've seen all night here, but unfortunately for the hitter, hit right at the left fielder.
So now it's up to R.J. Pingator with the Athletics down to their final out. Mohawks 8, Athletics none. Brown deals, and that one is blooped to foul territory. Coming on is Mundy, who can't make the catch. J.D. Mundy was behind that ball about a step and a half the entire way, couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah, it would have been a long run to get over there. It landed about halfway in between him and the left fielder in foul territory.
So Pingator in a 0-1 hole early on in the count with 2 outs. Isaac Brown making his Amsterdam debut. Delivers a fastball, blooper, and that'll do it.
There we go, shutout for the Mohawks.
It's Dylan Buck catching the line drive and locking up the final out of the game. Their final here in Amsterdam. The Mohawks 8, the Athletics none. We thank you so much for joining us in our inaugural broadcast of Mohawks baseball. Be sure to tune in for the home opener on Saturday. For all of us here in Amsterdam, I'm Brian Klein alongside my partner John Iris. Thanks for watching and have a nice night.